Hi, welcome to my day. It is early in the morning. It's about 6:17, and I have a lot to do since I'm moving to my parents' house today, since they're doing the floors in the kitchen. But I wanted to finish picking off my lettuce because they're about to bolt or flower, which means they're done. I want to plant some new ones before I go. I'm going to take some lettuce along to eat. But I wanted to do a follow-up from the video I did the other day about greeting us and Miles and people with disabilities. Because I think I left some things out, especially in regards to teaching your children and how to talk to them when you bug in my ear when you see somebody with a disability. I think it's really good to anticipate the whole scenario. If you see someone in a wheelchair or with a walker, or just somebody who's a little different, to start the bugs are bad. Start talking to your kids before they make a comment. Obviously you won't always see before they do because kids are really observant. But see if I can get my thoughts together here. Just kind of like getting ahead of it. So, you don't have that awkward moment. So I think it's really important that you let your kids know, first of all, that it's not contagious. They don't have to be scared just because someone's different. So it's just saying, like, pointing out the similarities that you have, like, oh, they have the same favorite color that you do. Look, they have blue shirt on, or look at her pink sparkly shoes. She likes stuff like that too. Or finding things that they might have in common, making them more human to the child, because if they've never been around it, it's very strange to them and it might be a little scary. So letting them know that it's not contagious, they're not going to get what that person has, and just making them more human to the child. Because if they're not around it and they're not exposed to it at all, it's completely different to them. It's completely foreign. And so guiding them and just talking about the wheelchair. I would not be offended. I can't speak for everyone. I would not be offended if you brought your child up and said, hey, this is Susie, and she's never seen a wheelchair before. And so I was just telling her what it's all about, and I was just wondering if we could just look at it and you could tell us the different parts of it and what it does and how it helps you, or and I would be delighted to point out all the different parts of wheelchairs, because you wouldn't believe, like, especially at church and stuff, when I get Miles out of his chair, all the kids, especially the little toddlers, will come up and they just want to touch it. They want to do the buckles. They want to pull all the levers. And that's fine with me. That gets them more comfortable with it and helps them to learn what it is. And I will talk to kids and say, well, Miles, his simplify it to their age level. If they're really little, so, well, Miles got an owie in his brain, in his head, and so his body doesn't want to listen to what his brain is saying, and that's why he can't talk and he can't move his body the way he wants to. But he's in there and he understands you, and will laugh at your jokes, and he might not talk to you, but he loves to make new friends, and he loves to listen, and he will smile at you. So yeah, and even I remember I did childcare one time for a support group of parents who had adopted children, and there was a boy in the class who had fetal alcohol syndrome. And so, he was like 10 or something when I was teaching, but he was more developmentally the age of like a 4-year-old or something. And so his impulse control was a little different, and when he would be upset, he would hit, and punch, and he would run away, and so he's a little different. And there was one little girl, I'm so sorry, there was one little girl in the group who was just like, she was very black and white personality and was just very mad, like, why is he doing it? So I had to take her aside and just explain to her, no, it's not right that he hit, and that's not good, but just I had to explain to her that his brain didn't work the same way, and so he didn't quite understand what he was supposed to do, and just explain to her, and she had so much more patience and grace with him after that. Now that she understood, like, he, of course, he wasn't my child, and I didn't want to like share too much, but I knew that his mom would be okay with me just explaining to her. And then she was okay with it. Like, she was a typical child, but she understood then that he couldn't do the same things, even though he was physically able. Like, he looked like a typical child. So in my mind, teaching my kids, my typical kids, like if they meet someone with autism and they're not quite as high functioning, to explain to them, he looks okay, but his brain doesn't work the same way, and he's still learning, and we have to teach him some more. So, trying to think if that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, explaining to our kids ahead of time that, everybody's different, and some people, their brains need some more help, and, you can go up to people and just, my child has never seen a wheelchair before. Can we? And I want to teach them what it's like. And I think more often than not, unless it's a grown-up who's on a mission, if you can see they're really busy and trying to get places or do something, I would say most parents would be excited to have another parent want to teach and include their child and talk to them and just teach other kids about the world that we live in the disability world. What is that? Caterpillar? Ew. I don't know what that is. I know I would be excited to teach kids, because that that helps make a connection there, and then the kids aren't scared to talk to him as much. But the kids are really curious. They don't know what it is. They don't understand, and so it's really important to teach them ahead of time. Ask questions. So I guess that's part 2. If I think of anything else I want to share, I guess maybe I'll do a part 3. Or if you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, I think explaining on a kid's level, even the different types of disabilities, really, and even how they got those disabilities, the extra chromosomes and Down syndrome, and but really pointing out the similarities that they have, the abilities that they have, and just teaching them why they use the things they do and how they're practicing, and like teaching them, hey, they just have to practice more at walking or sitting up or this or that. Whereas you're still, how you're practicing how to ride your bike, or you're practicing how to write your letters. They're just practicing at this. And it takes them a little bit longer, and it's a little bit harder for them to walk or to sit. So yeah, just making it really relatable to them, but teaching them how they have feelings just like they have feelings, and they like to have friends just like you like to have friends, and just really getting it into their head. It's really important. So, yeah, you're doing a good job. Ask questions, teach your kids, and God loves you all. And here's my garden. There's green beans. Brussels sprouts are still trying real hard. I took out my celery because it tasted not good. Here's my lettuce. I planted more cucumbers here. Pumpkins over there. We'll see what happens. Anyways, you're made on purpose. God loves you, and have a good day.